Grudges fade like yesterday's news, but a simple melody sticks like glue. Flashy fades, but rhythm stays, echoing long after the ad has played. When the pattern's easy to repeat, your brand walks in before you speak. From the screen to the gate, that's how messages find their way. You don't need louder, you don't need more, you need a rhythm they can't ignore. Hit making marketing, sing it loud, turn your message to a chant for the crowd. Hit making hum, let them remember your name. Hit making marketing, win the memory game. You don't need louder, you don't need more, you need a rhythm they can't ignore. Hit making marketing, sing it loud, turn your message to a chant for the crowd. If they can hum it, they'll remember your name. Hit making marketing, win the memory game.
Hey, welcome everybody. It's the E Factor. Oh my gosh, where's Cornelius? That's right. I hijacked the show. This is Ken Powell again. I hijacked it a couple weeks ago, and now I'm hijacking it again. So today's special guest is the mad Swede, Rick Onen. Okay, the owner of Hit Making Marketing. You just got a little sample of what he does. And what I find interesting is he is a guy who's traveled all around the world, has taken many classes in marketing and psychology, and he came up with something that is unique to the advertising and marketing world. That's using music as a way of conveying your message. Duh, that's obvious. Rock and roll's been doing it. Jazz has been doing it. Everybody's been doing it. Pop has been doing it. But guess who doesn't do it? Your small business. That's why Rick is here to tell you all about Hit Making Marketing and his special rock star program. So welcome to the show, Rick.
Thank you very much, Ken. I appreciate the invitation.
Well, you know, it's exciting to see something new coming out because everybody does the same thing, especially in small business. What we do is we hire some guy to come out and do a video. We put all our family on there. We got the family dog. We got all of that stuff. And we talk about how great our business is. And yet we wonder why nobody comes to our business. You came up with a solution for that.
Yes, I did.
And so what is the difference between marketing and hit-making marketing?
Well, Ken, I harness the power of songwriting to create top-charting sales advertising and turn your advertising into a chorus that people remember. So I help businesses change from messaging to making money by using the power of psychology of songwriting.
And so we're going to hear a couple more examples when we go to our commercials today. You gave us a couple samples of commercials that we're going to run instead of our traditional commercials to show people exactly what you're talking about.
That's right.
So, you know, what's interesting is a lot of people think about the end of a commercial is producing the commercial, and in your case, that's the beginning of the commercial, right? I mean, you actually think that people should be spending time marketing their musical lyrics.
Why not? Most people talk about features and benefit. Why don't we talk about exactly what is your benefit? What's the solution you offer? Because you know what, Ken? Music triggers memory. much faster than language. We all know songs. We hear a song on the radio coming on, and that first note hits you. You know exactly what song it is. Why don't you put that in your sales message and send it to your audience, and they will remember you? It will stick like a chorus. It sticks like glue in your mind.
You're using that blue ocean strategy versus the red ocean strategy. That's excellent. But see, the thing is this. Why are small businesses not mimicking large businesses? I've never heard a single commercial that doesn't have a jingle or some sort of musical bed to their commercial. Have you?
No, you're absolutely right. And what I see a lot in small businesses and their marketing, they invest a lot of money in professional websites, professional logos, professional messaging. So what happens is if everybody doing the exact same thing, it becomes an ocean of sameness, and everybody's drowned in their own messaging because nothing stands out.
That's very interesting, because most small business people are concerned about the tools, but not the results.
Exactly.
And the results are what? Getting sales
Correct.
and being memorable. Because a lot of people will produce a commercial, and the person will listen to the commercial and they say, oh, okay, if I ever need that person, I'll call them, right? Within weeks, they've lost communication with that company. And so then they go back to friends or neighbors, or maybe they go to the internet, and then they find somebody else because they forgot your message.
It happens quick.
And so you're basically playing on the psychology of people.
Yes, there's a neurological thing happening in your brain when you hear music. You can relate to it by an emotion. We all have experienced the moments of joy, happiness, love, pain. A lot of different emotions are associated with songs and music and things happening in our life at some specific point. So if you take your core message, which is the benefits of what you're offering, and we can create a chorus that people remember, it sticks in people's head.
Exactly. And I have a song that's sticking in my head. Actually, there's a couple of them, but the biggest one that's sticking in my head right now is I Should Have Been a Cowboy. Okay? And it just keeps popping back up. And then every once in a while I go to the internet, right, to YouTube, and I'll listen to another rendition by somebody else, and it's very powerful. Whereas if I just ran an ad that says, I'm looking for a cowboy, please apply at XYZ, right? Go to my internet or go to my website. It's not going to make anything. It's not going to affect me mentally. I mean, when we're looking at songs, and I'm glad that you brought up, songs have emotion. But if I say, oh, I'm getting a divorce, call me, I'm an attorney, I'm a divorce attorney, call me for a divorce. Or you use a song that talks about somebody, the pain of divorce, right? And all that. I mean, that's what music is about, right?
Exactly. It's about expressing emotions with a melody, and it sticks with you. It's totally different. Music solved this problem a long time ago, about memorability. Rock stars are memorable, not because they stand out. Mick Jagger is not a better singer specifically than all the other singers out there, but he's Mick Jagger, he's unique. So if you take your business, your core message, and we create a sonic identity around your business, and we use that to feed your audience, they will remember you.
And the great thing about it is, you don't have to be nationwide. You don't have to be even regional. You could be local, but you could be the rock star of your industry.
Correct. We call it the rock star marketing method.
Oh my gosh, you even have a method called that?
Yes.
So how does that work?
The first thing is we're going to tune your instrument. And what I mean by that is we're going to define your core message, we're going to define your audience, and then we're going to find the emotional trigger. So what I'm talking about here in different language, I'm still talking about advertising. I'm not using the same boring language as an advertising conversation. We're talking about ads, funnels, and lead generation. We talk about something that it's the same thing, but it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So if you use that for your business, it might bring some more attention to your business. So the first step is tune your instrument. The second step is we're gonna define your chorus. We're gonna write your chorus, write your album. And the album in this case is your campaign, your marketing campaign. And then we're gonna have songs on the album. And those are your marketing messages in form of social media posts, press releases, articles, ads, anything depending on what kind of business you do and how you market yourself. Those are the songs. And the third thing is we're gonna book you the stages. So you take stage, which means launch your campaign. Get your marketing material out there. So in form of a newsletter, if you send a tour campaign update, do you think that would spike some interest in your audience? Possibly.
Well, so you're basically taking the what I called back in the early 90s, late 80s, is you're basically creating a fan club, like the Mickey Mouse fan club, right? And so everybody writes in, you know, and today we talk about fan clubs as communities, right? But it really goes back to, for example, the KISS Army.
Right.
So what was the KISS Army all about anyway?
Well, they became the hardcore fans. They follow, they buy all the merchandise. And KISS was a band, but really it became a brand more than anything. They have sold more merchandise in so many ways than any other rock bands out there. So people collect those things and they remember those things and they follow their loyal following.
And they're still followers today, even though they're in their 60s and 70s.
Oh yeah,
they're
absolutely.
still KISS. They're part of the KISS Army.
Oh yeah, and the memorabilia they have is out of control. It's all over the world.
Exactly, exactly. And that's what you're attempting to do for a small business, right?
Yes, why not? Why don't we use the same formula? If it works for the entertainment industry, why not for the business industry? And you know what the fact is? It's already proven, it already works, right? The entertainment industry have mastered the science of making somebody memorable and recognizable.
Exactly, exactly.
Right? So the same principles works to make somebody recognizable as a name, individual name, works for a business to make that the rock star in the market. Rock stars are not rock stars because they're better than anybody else. They're rock star because they're unique. And the entertainment industry also understands that it's not about being perfect. It's about being memorable, recognizable, and magnetic.
Exactly. And that brings me to Cal Worthington, because a lot of people are going to say, well, that doesn't really apply to business. Well, Cal Worthington, you know, was an auto dealer way back in the 90s, and he had a dog Spot. Well, his dog Spot was a tiger one time, and then it was a hippopotamus, and then it was a monkey, and it was actually, he was making fun of another auto dealer that had a dog Spot, you know, a German Shepherd. And so he was making fun of him. And he had music. And it went so far, he ended up with 20 dealerships. But then he was actually being booked at concerts because of how unique he was as a selling point. So even musicians, musical groups saw him and said, hey, I want Cal Worthington to introduce me. And with his dog Spot. And it took off. And he sold lots of cars. Lots of Fords.
Right. It's about being unique in your market. And you know, I'll tell you a story. There was a gentleman came to me out from Hammett. The car guy in Hammett came and said, hey, Rick, I got a book. I want to sell this book. I said, what is the book about? And he said, it's called How to Buy a Car Without Being Taken for a Ride. So I read the book and I'm like, this is amazing, Richard Perry. I said, this is amazing because you having 40 years of experience in the car industry, and you're taking all the experience and giving out all the secrets to people how to buy a car and be not being taken advantage of. So people can read this book and save $2,000 to $12,000 in savings from buying from a car dealership. So where is this putting him in the market? He gave out all the secrets where he could take advantage of people, which he didn't do. Means he's the trusted guide in the car industry. So now he's teaching people how to buy a car they love at the price they don't hate. Who doesn't like that?
Exactly. And I understand that he's one of your clients. He's going to be part of the Rockstar, what are we going to call
the
it?
Rockstar marketing method. Yeah, he's
Marketing
already
method.
part of it, and it's exciting.
And see, the thing is, he used to tell people how to save money and stuff after they bought a car. That's not very helpful.
But now he's telling them before. He's an honest guy and he's living on that. And here's the thing. He's sharing the secrets the car industry do not want you to know.
Oh,
That's powerful.
We've interviewed him several times here on the station, and when he comes, we put out the phone number, and he gets a lot of phone calls. And people say, well, I got this or I got that. You know, it's very direct. So I think right now we're going to break here. Rick, and we're going to listen to a couple of your projects.
All right. Well, exciting.
All
So you
right.
can listen to the lyrics and see what this is about.
Listen to the lyrics, everybody. That's the key.
Every lot's got a secret game. Same old tricks, just a different name. Smiles and numbers on a dotted line till the real cost shows up over time. They know the moves, the scripts, the ride. But now the truth is on your side. Don't get taken for a ride. Know the truth before you buy. Richard Perry shows inside how the hidden numbers hide. Save your money, keep your pride. Most been smart and buy with Guy before you sign the dotted line. Will the book that flips the ride. How to buy a car without being taken for a ride. Available now on Amazon. Don't get taken for a ride. Know the truth before you buy. Richard Perry shows inside how the hidden numbers hide. Save your money, keep your pride. Look and smart and buy with Guy before you sign the dotted line. Read the book that fits the ride. Don't get taken for a ride. Read the book that flips the ride. Don't get taken for a ride. Read the book that flips the ride.
That's very impressive. And I guess we got another one coming right up. What do you? That was incredible. That's that Richard Perry you were talking about,
That's
right?
it. That's
the same
song.
guy.
Yes, it is.
You would never know. I mean, he's so humble. I mean, but the song told the story without being obnoxious.
Right. And I know Richard is very humble, but I help with the marketing material in a more aggressive way because that's what it's about. To get your message out there.
Well, it has a big punch. So instead of somebody screaming at you, I can save you a lot of money or this or that or the other thing, it's musically, and you can actually toe tap. I was toe tapping to the song. Now, we have another song I think we wanted to play real quick, and we'll get a contrast, right, with this particular song. I think this is with, I'm not sure exactly who is up next, but go ahead and listen to it. The next song? Yeah, there you go. Much smoother.
Numbers tell the story.
See this? Very
Find the
smooth.
profit leaks, turn your numbers into growth. See the end shows what your business needs. Cash flow strong, now your future shows. Numbers tell the story, yeah, tell the story. 20 years inside the numbers, seeing what most businesses miss. Hidden costs, silent losses, waiting in the balance sheets. Find the profit leaks, turn your numbers into growth. See the end shows what your business needs. Cash flow strong, now your future shows. future shows. Numbers tell a story, yeah, words tell a story. Cornerstone diagnostic consultant. Numbers tell a story, yeah, words tell a story. Cornerstone diagnostic consultant. Numbers tell a story, yeah, words tell a story. Cornerstone diagnostic consultant. Numbers tell a story, yeah, words tell a story.
Wow, that's, yeah, I can't see a CPA doing that.
Right. And let me tell you a story about this one. It was this gentleman came to me and he said, "Hey, Rick, can you help me out stand out in a very competitive market?" I said, "I don't know. What is it you do?" He said, "I'm a financial analyst and I help small businesses save money by finding where to spend too much money." I said, "Well, let's take a look. How can we make this interesting?" So we created a course for him, and the course is the Profit Leak Session. Now you know what it is. You remember that. So we created this song. So now he's out asking businesses, have you ever had a record revenue month and you still feel underpaid? One Profit Leak session with Steve and Jin can put your stressful life back to life of freedom. And you'll be the family hero, take them on a vacation. So do you think companies are interested in that? Well, you be the judge.
Well, see, that's the thing. All I can see is a CPA rolling in. Okay, I need to get your numbers and this and that and the other thing. It's very it's like going to it's like going to the doctor, right? And you're going, oh my God, you get diagnosed. I don't really want to meet with a person, right? Same thing with a bookkeeper. Oh, I don't want to know what my numbers are. But basically, what this does is it sells the idea that you need to know what your numbers are, and it makes it very, very, very low key, but with a high touch message. I think what we're going to do is try to get the next. Let's look at the next song. And I know we normally run these as commercials in the middle, but I think it's better that we talk about these because now we have some time to spend with each one of these particular songs. So we'll go ahead and
we
play
can
the
show
next
people
one.
what it is. It's a tangible result right here. This is what we do. We create a course for businesses so your audience remember.
Yeah, and I think it's hard to talk about the chorus. It's much easier to hear the chorus.
Yes, and I want to point out too, even though I use a musical language, I'm talking about tours and albums and songs, but what are we talking about here? We're talking about advertising.
Right.
Is this something you remember? You remember this conversation about advertising after this call? Possibly. And then if you take that language into your business, do you think your audience may remember it a little bit better? That's the whole point.
Exactly. So let's go ahead and listen to the next one. I think this is about telehealth, I think.
Yeah, I'll tell you the story about this.
Okay. But after we play the song real quick. All right. There we go.
Hi,
Oh my gosh.
is this normal? What's going on? Late night searching till the morning comes. 10 tabs open, heart racing too. You need real answers, not something new. Answers before anxiety. That's the way care should be. No waiting weeks, no guessing games, just clarity. Answers before anxiety. That's the new standard you'll see with Jay-Z and Quick Stop Health. Women's health the way it should be. Waiting is not clarity. Waiting is not clarity. Yes. Quick Stop Health. Quick Stop Health.
My gosh. So what's the story here?
Quick Stop Health. Well, this lady came to me and she said, Rick, I feel invisible in the market. Can you help me? I said, well, I don't know. What is it you do? She said, I have a telehealth clinic for women. Okay, what is your offer? And she said, I have a same-day visit with healthcare providers. I said, well, that sounds very generic. It sounds like from any medical websites. So what makes you different, I asked her. She said, well, I'm sick and tired of seeing women having anxiety of waiting a long time to get the answers they're looking for. All right, well, here we go. I think your chorus is answers before anxiety, as you heard in the song. Women want answers before anxiety, and we turn her brand into she's setting a new standard for women's health in California. So the standard is the no-wait standard for women in healthcare.
Well, and I noticed that you have like a K-pop sound to it. So you have a woman who's actually singing this. It sounds like a younger woman, and she does a great job of expressing that this is a woman's only scenario. You know, as a guy listening to that, it's not for you.
Exactly, and that's how we tailor. I've said we tune your instrument. We're gonna define your audience by tuning your instrument. So who is your audience? We figure out who that is. It would make more sense to have a woman sing a jingle than a man, right? This is telehealth for women.
Especially a younger woman, I would think.
Yeah. So she changed all this concept, saved her $12,000 in a year in marketing cost, and she went from being invisible to unforgettable.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's great. So how did you, this is so obvious now, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I just can't imagine that somebody hasn't even come up with this idea of rock star marketing. It's crazy to me that nobody's ever thought of this for small business.
Well, Ken, I'm not coming from the regular marketing background. I'm coming from playing shows, stomping stages all over America, recording records, wearing mohawk and leather pants in new towns, taking stage with a rock band. And I learned pretty quick that you have a very short moment where you can grab the audience. And the first thing is the visual. What is the first thing they see? How do you look? And what stage props do you have? I happen to have a chromed chain link mic stand.
Yeah, I saw that.
So when people
It's in
see
the back
that,
of your truck.
I want to see this band. And so that's number one. And then you got to grab them with the right, not necessarily the message in this case, but you got to grab them with the right attitude. So they got to be interested in you immediately. And it's the same thing in marketing. So eventually I realized, why don't we take this concept and help businesses turning the message into a chorus that people remember? So that's how it started.
That's how it started.
That's how it started.
And I call you the Mad Swede because you come from Sweden, right?
That's correct.
And you were mad about small business people not having a clue. And I know I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you were part of the Swedish invasion, right? I mean, the tail end of it, I guess, on Sunset Boulevard.
Well, I was there. I experienced some of it as I had an American rock band, so we were really on the outskirts there, even though I'm from Sweden.
Okay, so but you've played at the Whiskey.
I played all those places, yes.
Okay, so name some of the places. Don't be so modest.
The
like
Whiskey,
your
the
clients.
Viper Room, the Rainbow
Room?
Bar. Yeah, it's
Okay.
there. Loaded was the place that we hung out at all the time. We played the theaters. We played all the places.
Yeah,
in it,
and
really.
the interesting thing about it is some of those places have what they call pay for play, where you have to pay to actually perform, but you never had to do that.
Well, we kind of turn our backs to that stuff because a lot of the places took advantage of the bands doing that.
Yeah, but
So
I mean,
there was ways around that, and we got
filled
away
the house without having to worry about
Yes,
that. And they made
yeah.
money on you, so they booked you anyway.
Exactly.
Even though there's no upfront guarantee that they
Right.
typically were used to.
Exactly.
And yeah, and it's very interesting. And the reason why I call you the Mad Swede is because you're about to put together the biggest Swedish tour in California. And it's going to be exciting.
It's an early stage on that, yes.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
yeah.
the rock is rolling out.
You were here first, okay?
Rolling
So
out.
want to hear everybody say, well, you know, that was an LA thing. No, it's an Inland Empire thing. We started it here, and this is where it's going to begin at KCAA.
Yeah,
and
also
we're excited.
It's another exciting thing I'm doing. I've been a songwriter for a very long time, and I'm working on a record where I've mixed music styles. This is the first time I'm releasing this because you're drawing this out of me, Ken. But I've recorded a record that's almost finished where I mixed two music styles in a way that's never been done before. I just can't tell you right now what it is because we're so close to the finish date. And when we roll it out, people are going to be interested. And it's a sound of we call it the IE sound, a new sound coming out of here. The desert in California.
And I'm going to give a little sneak peek. I'm not going to tell them exactly what it is, but it does encompass the culture that the Inland Empire grew up in. A lot of people don't realize that a lot of great music came from the Inland Empire in different types of genres, not just rock and roll, but in Hispanic music and then punk and several other types of music. And this will kind of encompass all of that. And you young rockers out there, you young rappers and all that kind of stuff, we're going to be having a show for you. And we're going to bring it to the Inland Empire. So watch out for a local bar or casino near you. And you have a group too, right? I mean, you don't just do marketing.
No, like I said, I'm coming from the background of rock and roll, and I'm a lead singer in a rock band out of Hollywood called Rebel Hotel. And since the whole COVID thing rolled out, we kind of took a little break. We were burned out. We've been stomping stages for years, and so we needed a little break. And we play.
Oh, so you brought COVID, so you could get a little break.
No.
I'm just teasing. That's a joke.
I didn't participate in that whatsoever.
You didn't participate.
I don't participate in that crap.
All right. So, what do you see the future of this? I'm going to call it the Swedish invasion. What do you see the future of culture and the integration of maybe some of the Swedish culture in America? Because I mean, after all, we have Spanish, we have Chinese, we have Filipinos. We're a very diverse state, and so I understand that your sister is a chef.
She is.
Yeah, and I know you weren't expecting that question, but
certainly not. But
so tell me a little bit about her.
well, she's a school culinary chef, so she's been
Oh.
cooking her whole life, and she went to school in Sweden for it, and she's doing an amazing job. So every time I go over to Sweden, I'll stay with my sister and her family and her husband, and eat the best food over the year.
Well, this is a surprise, and I'm sure it's going to be a real surprise for Cornelius. But we're going to try to get her over here to actually go to the RCC Culinary Academy and show some of her recipes, because she's obviously a teacher, right?
She is.
She's a teaching chef. So it would be a great addition to the Inland Empire to create this new style of food. Maybe a fusion like you were doing with music. Maybe we could do a Swedish Mexican fusion.
Oh, that would be something interesting. And she is so good at mixing things together. And every time I'm over there, I'm like, I'm not even trying to cook. She's going to do something. She whips something together in 10 minutes, and it's like a masterful meal. So if she can make something together with the Mexican food and mix it with Swedish food, I can assure you it's going to be delicious. Absolutely guaranteed.
Yeah, and so that's one of the things that Cornelius and I are working on, and we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. We got a new focus for the show, and we're going to be going to restaurants and to bars and those kinds of things, providing new and exciting ways of restaurateurs and bar owners to actually make money using KCAA as a platform. And then obviously we've hired Rick over here as our marketing guru, so that's going to really work well for us. So I think it's about time for another break. Let's just replay one of the songs and see, just kind of reinforce the Richard Perry thought.
Every lot's got a secret game. Same old tricks, just a different name. Smiles and numbers on a dotted line till the real cost shows up over time. They know the moves, the scripts, the ride. But now the truth is on your side. Don't get taken for a ride. Know the truth before you buy. Richard Perry shows inside how the hidden numbers hide. Save your money, keep your pride. Most been smart and buy with Guy before you sign the dotted line. Will the book that flips the ride. How to buy a car without being taken for a ride. Available now on Amazon. Don't get taken for a ride. Know the truth before you buy. Richard Perry shows inside how the hidden numbers hide. Save your money, keep your pride. Most been smart and buy with Guy before you sign the dotted line. Read the book that flips the ride. Don't get taken for a ride. Read the book that flips the ride. Don't get taken for a ride. Read the book that flips the ride.
Wow. Richard Perry, VIP Autos. Give him a call. He's in Hemet, California. All you got to do is go to Google, punch up VIP Autos, and he's your man. Now, a lot of people will say, well, you know, I don't live in Hemet. Well, it doesn't matter because he's a car concierge. He's sold cars to all kinds of people, including the Osmonds family. And basically, you call up, you tell him what car you want, and bam, he finds it for you, sells it to you at a very reasonable price. Now, we're about to finish up with Rick here with his marketing concept, and he wanted to discuss how to contact him, set up an appointment, and provide some information so that you know how this can actually build your business. And I'll tell you right now, we did a study in my company, and we determined that, we had a little help from ChatGPT, that you're going to increase your sales about 35% by adding music to your advertising campaign. 35% just by adding music. So go ahead, Rick. Why don't you give us how they can get a hold of you and how we can work together.
Well, what I do, I said I'm rebuilding my website right now. So I have a calendly.com/Rick Orn, OHRN is my last name. So calendly.com/Rick Orn, OHRN. So what happened, I used to have a Calendly before, and I had sessions for free, so people booked me, but they never showed up. So I had to change it. So I charged $200 for it, but I will guarantee you I'm going to write you some piece of marketing material for that session. So whether you decide to work with me or not, you're going to get something. You get a press release, an article, or whatever you need at the moment. So that's number one thing. But if you're a business owner and you're sick and tired of being the best kept secret in your business, in your niche, well, that's the first step. The second step is you got to be willing to step out of the ocean of sameness and get into being unique and memorable. And then reach out to me, and we're going to start finding your chorus. Write your hooks and write your songs and get you ready for being recognized out there. And if you don't call me, maybe your competition might call me.
Well, the other thing is, what is your phone number? So go ahead and Give your phone. Oh, okay.
No, contact me
your
on
email.
Calendly. Yeah, it's Ricky, RICKYOHRN. So at gmail.com. So Ricky, OHRN at gmail.com. So either email or Calendly. That's how you can reach out to me.
Yeah, everybody's a little because of all this weirdness on the internet. So yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. So they could just email you, set an appointment, then
Yes.
they get your phone number, right?
Well, we take that over at the appointment. We get to that step
Well,
first,
that's
and
what I
then
mean.
we're gonna communicate. I'm gonna start building a blueprint regarding your business, and then we look into what exactly is your first step. Define your audience, and then find the emotional trigger for your business, and then we're gonna write the hook regarding what you offer, your solution. And remember, music trigger memory much faster than language. So, if you're ready to take the stages, it is showtime.
It's showtime. Well, and the beauty of your system, the Rockstar system, is you integrate video, music, lyrics, and strategy all in one. So most people are doing like one thing or another thing, and they go, oh, I'll buy an ad here, I'll buy an ad there. There's no method to their madness, I guess.
And oftentimes it's very spread out. There's no distinct strategy. That's often what I see.
Okay, so how do they get a hold of you again?
It's either Ricky Orn, OHRN, at gmail.com, or book a session with me right away at calendly.com/Rick Orn, OHRN, RICKOHRN.
Okay, so what was that email address again?
It's RICKYOHRN at gmail.com. RickyOrn at gmail.com.
Man, this has been exciting. This is a great show. Hey, thank you, Cornelius, for letting me hijack the show again. I brought you another great guest, and this is going to be really good. The three of us are going to be working together. So we're going to go out with the intro song. Oh, I guess we got some more minutes. So what would you say the number one takeaway for a small business working with you would be?
Define what you offer. Most companies talk about features and descriptions, and it's very easy to, when people are exciting, especially small businesses, I see this, they're very excited about what they got and what they do. And the truth is, nobody cares how long you've been in business, nobody cares how many people you help, nobody cares about anything else than one thing, and that is, what can this do for me?
That's
Is
the
that-
WII.FM radio station.
The
What's
WFM.
in it for me?
So one of the first steps is we're gonna create a pitch question, is what I call it. And the pitch question is, can you walk into a room of 1,000 people that could possibly be your prospects, and you ask them one question, and people raise their hands? Well, then you have a pitch question. And to give you an example, my question would be to any business owner out there is, have you ever felt you explained your business perfectly, but you still feel invisible? Would you like to turn your message into a chorus that people remember?
So one of the things is you actually give them a checklist, right? When they get do the $200 appointment,
Yes.
and they can use that checklist to actually go to other companies and ask them those questions, right?
Yeah, of course they can do that, yes.
And then they can make a comparison
Yes,
between your system and what somebody else brings to the table.
absolutely.
And I think a lot of people, they fly by the seat of their pants. They say, emotionally, I like this guy better than that guy, as opposed to clinically, I like this guy better than that guy. And I think you have to combine both, right? And that's what music does.
It does. And you know, we all know in sales, people buy on emotion and justify it analytically afterwards. So analytically, it doesn't sell. So I learned from one of my mentors, he said, if you want to succeed in business, you have to deliver what you promise. But if you want to prosper in business, you have to over-deliver what you promise. So that's what I live by, that, and I want to over-deliver. And as a boxer growing up, there was no knocking out happening. You can get knocked down in life, you can get knocked down in business, but you got to get up. And it's okay. We can rewrite the ads, we can rewrite it all until it hits, until you get your hook, until you get your chorus that people remember.
Well, and what's interesting is when you said that, is that a lot of people feel like they've been knocked down with this new AI thing going on. Now SEO is changing, this is changing, that's changing, and they're kind of like, they've kind of like knocked down, and they're taking the count. And they need to get up. They need to do something, right? Because nothing's going to change if you stay on the mat.
Exactly. And here's a good nugget of gold. If you want things in your life to change, you have to change things in your life. So if you want things in your business to change, you have to change things in your business. It's very simple. You have to do something different to get a different result.
Yeah, especially if in the community you have a competitor who's the top of the food chain that everybody knows, right? Because of reputation, they've been there a long time. How do you displace that person? You use the new marketing system that Rick's put together. You become the rock star. They become the supporting act.
Yeah, the whole idea is to manufacture recognition deliberately. People screaming louder and louder and louder in the ocean of sameness, but we want to manufacture a difference, differentiation. To manufacture the recognition deliberately. That's the whole point. There's no rock stars the same. There's no two Madonnas. There's no two Michael Jacksons.
That's a good point.
Everybody doing things their way and being unique in their own way. Not because one is better than the other. It's the uniqueness. Who are you? What's your message behind your business? What is your passion? What is the thing that drives you? And the question I asked a lot of business owners, what's the number one reason you're doing this? Is it just to make money? Or do you have a purpose behind it? Like Quick Stop Health, she wants to help women. That's her number one thing. And if you help others, the money comes.
And that's a hard thing for a lot of people to understand.
It is.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So now how can they get a hold of you again, real quick?
Calendly.com/Rick Orn, RICKOHRN.
Okay, we're about ready to say goodbye, Rick. And we're going to learn all about hit-making marketing.
Well, it was a pleasure to be here, Ken. Thank you for the invitation. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty.
It's showtime.
Exactly.
Big budgets fade like yesterday's news, but a simple melody sticks like glue. Flashy fades, but rhythm stays, echoing long after the ad has played. When the pattern's easy to repeat, your brand walks in before you speak. From the screen to the day, that's how messages find their way. You don't need louder, you don't need more, you need a rhythm they can't ignore. Hit making marketing, sing it loud, turn your message to a chant for the crowd. If they can hum it, they'll remember your name. Hit making marketing, win the memory game. You don't need louder, you don't need more, you need a rhythm they can't ignore. Hit making marketing, sing it loud, turn your message to a chant for the crowd. If they can hum it, they'll remember your name. Hit making marketing, win the memory
A penny for your thoughts? Sorry, ideas are priceless. KCAA.
Loma Linda, where no listener is ever left behind.
All right, all right, all right. We are here in 2026 with the new version of the Cool Veteran Hour. Changed the name, but it's still the same game, almost. So, I'm your host, Charles Whitehead of the Cool Veteran Hour, and today my guest will be Mr. Will Hill. He is in, our subject today is going to be about AI and music and things like that. And, of course, this is KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. And, be sure if you want to spread the word, have people call in and stream and watch us, listen to us live. So, without any further ado, we're going to get going with this. Will, how you doing? Say hello to the audience. Will Hill.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I feel great. It was a great little ride out here from LA to the Inland Empire. I always like coming out here and visiting. I have a few friends out here, so it's always great to come out.
That's nice. You get to come out, and then you were going somewhere after this. That's in the general area, or no?
I actually had a game to go to for Community Christian College, but it got canceled. Coach Smith at Community Christian is a really good friend of mine, and
Okay.
yeah.
So, all right. So we're just gonna kind of tell you a little bit how we, what the plans are for the future of the show here. It's 2026, and we may have some changes that we're going to have some changes. But the bottom line is, no matter where or what time we do this, we're going to always talk about veterans, music, and and the events, of course, and disabled people. Those are the topics of my show. So I am, if you don't know, I'm since 1987, I've been a wheelchair user, spinal cord injury, and so I have a long history of being involved with the disabled community. So these are people that I definitely have to support, as well as being a veteran, Army Reserve veteran, and dealing with veterans. And of course, the music is my passion, and this is where we're going to jump off today. It's going to be about the music, but it won't be all about nothing. All right, Will. So let's talk about this AI thing. Now, I know I've gotten